G'day guys, Jaws20 here, welcome back to Mile Bay. So last episode we were building up this road layout for our new city we're about to build. We're building that one today. But here's the thing, I would like the city to be completely self-sufficient. I don't want to rely on anything from St. Marie, so nothing to do with electricity or water or any of the services. You know, this needs to be its own city, needs to be doing its own thing, which means we're going to be building a lot of the services today, and they're going to cost us a pretty penny. We're already losing money, okay? We're not making much money at all. So whatever we build in this episode in terms of services, we have to make up for it in residence and commercial, so zoning, just taxing those bad boys, because otherwise we're going to just, I mean, it's going to be a very short-lived city, I think. So services are going to be the first thing that we build, and I'm going to start with some electricity, some power. Now here's the thing, because we're building something based around Louisiana, there is quite a lot of coal power plants within that state. So this is our coal power plant. This is one we got to work with, and I don't want to, guys. I just don't want to. No. Okay, I made my own custom one last time I built a power station. This is my custom one down here. You know, just a couple of growables, and you know, you got some power plants just spliced into there, and it's fine. But I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to do that. I've downloaded some much better looking ones from the Steam Workshop, and that's just the way. That's where we're going to roll with that. These are the ones I've got to choose from. So we've got this guy, he's 68,000, the upkeep's 2,047, and the upkeep's, maybe we go for this guy. Let's go for the one that's only producing 80 megawatts, because I think that's going to be better suited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my power plant out this way. I think I'm going to use this road because it's already there, and I'm going to drag it out a little bit further. And this is the spot. This is where I'm going to put my power plant. You know what, before I place this thing down, I'm going to just drop him into the ground just a little bit further. And I've put it on an angle because, I don't know, I just did. And I'm just going to just smooth it out. I would like it to be pretty low to the ground, pretty close to the water's edge. Basically what I'm going for, there's a really interesting power plant just outside of Gulfport, and I think it's just really cool. Love the way that it connects up to this river, and it's got these little channels where cargo is going to be coming into. So I want to do something similar with my version. It's in a similar location. We've got a bit of a swamp going on, and I think we'll use that just to make it look a little bit more interesting. But I'm not going to put a huge amount of detail into this, I believe. I don't think I am. Let's put that there. Alright, we've got power. We'll get back to that because we've got to detail it up. Next, we're going to need some sort of waste management facility, and I think I'm just going to stick with landfill and probably just keep it out this way, because I think this is sort of becoming our industrial zone. I know I said that we're going to do industry out here. I don't think so anymore. I think this is going to be better off as a neighborhood or so. But this is already looking like a bit of an industrial area. So I'm going to just get it a bit further out of the city. And that road goes out towards there for some reason, even though I'm not going to even use it at the moment. I think my waste management's going to sit something like, oh man, where am I going to put it? I don't really want to put it anywhere. You know what, let's just put it here, because I think that this is already a bit of a strange road layout. You know, we've got this weird intersection and a couple of diagonal roads, so this probably makes a bit of sense. So I'm just going to create something super basic, and that's where we're going to do some landfill. And once again, we'll come back and just give that a little bit of love, because it's looking pretty average. So we've got waste management, we've got power, we do need some water. Now, I think I've just recently, yeah, look at that. I've just unlocked some of these guys, which do look a lot better than the base game ones. So this will take care of our sewage, and I think we're going to set another one of these up. You know what? Let's continue the theme and build it somewhere around here. I'm going to put a water tower maybe around here. We can always move him a bit later. And I think that pretty much covers us. Oh, we do need to think about... Yeah, we need to be thinking about where we're going to put some sort of cemetery, which I am so sick of building. But we do need one at some stage. But you know what? I think we need residents first. So... basically, we've just placed down a bunch of services. This is going to get us going. I'm now going to jump into a time lapse, and we're going to start building and figuring out the zoning and maybe put a bit of detail work on some of these guys. But the main focus now is to connect up the city and make sure that it is starting to establish up, and then we'll jump back into another live play and see how we're going. All right, let's get into it. Alright, ignore what I was saying about keeping everything completely separate from the rest of Mile Bay, St. Marie in particular. We will, of course, be connecting up the power supply and the water grid to everything else in Mile Bay. I mean, it makes sense from a financial situation. You know, there's no point having a huge amount of supply over here and not having it connected to the rest of the grid. But, I mean... that's what they do in real life as well. You know, cities aren't completely separate from one another. They still connect up and they still feed into each other's supply. But I do like the idea that this city, as it develops, is going to have everything it really needs in terms of services from the very beginning. Whereas in other cities that I've built, you know, kind of just chip away at those things as we need them, you know, and even in Mile Bay, even in St. Marie, you know, couldn't even unlock half the stuff because we were playing with milestones. So making sure that we have power supply and water supply and, you know, waste management, all that sort of stuff from the very beginning, I think is just kind of fun in terms of planning out your city. Plus, this sort of makes sense where they are at the moment. I don't plan to change where they sit. I think this makes a lot of sense. So we've just been working on our power supply. This is our coal power plant. And I wanted to just place down the main buildings first and then add in the details afterwards. We are going to be zoning a couple of little areas of industry. As you can see, I am also using Plop the Growables just so I can select those, you know, just some better looking warehouses, because there are some very ugly looking industrial buildings if you just wait for them to grow. But, you know, just really not doing a huge amount of detail here. I really just wanted to smash this out and have this as the backdrop for the city, because it is quite a large facility and you've got these massive chimneys and smoke coming out, and, you know, it sits right amongst what is quite a lot of other pockets of industry. But then you've also got this nice contrast between, you know, this big industrial zone, and then you've got, you know, the swampland and the water. And when we start building some of the docks that come out here, I think it's going to be really nice. Maybe nice isn't the best choice of words, but I think it'd be definitely interesting. An interesting contrast, which I always like to build within my cities. But yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a work in progress, because until we unlock the dock, I don't think we can really finish this area off, because I think it would just be so cool seeing some barges come in here. I have spoken about this mod a little bit. I think might have been in even the last, maybe 2 episodes ago I spoke about this mod, but I am subscribed to the barges mod, and having barges go from St. Marie to this power plant to the city is going to be so cool. I really can't wait to get there and unlock those features. And I think if I hadn't called this series Mile Bay, I probably just would have unlocked that. I think the next time I do a series, I mean, just shooting ahead. I already did shoot ahead in the last episode as well, just giving you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into what I'm already thinking. But I think the next series I do, I'm not going to play milestones, but I do love all the other aspects of the game that I usually keep. Like, I usually unlock all those features. I just play with unlimited money, everything unlocked, all that sort of stuff. But I kind of like that aspect of Mile Bay, which is sort of the reason why I've been seeing a bit more Mile Bay lately, is I've just been having a lot of fun building in it. But yeah, I think besides the milestones aspect of the game, I think I'd like to continue using money and services and all that sort of stuff because, I mean, it's the game. I kind of like it. It's really fun. And it sort of seems a bit ridiculous that I'm saying all that stuff now because I've been playing the game for like 5 years. So I don't know. Take that as you will. But we've moved on. I've just created a bit of a border for our power plant. Always enjoy doing this, having this nice border between the environment and the industrial zone. Just a fence, a couple of paths, and that's about it. But I think it's quite effective, just showing where the development is and where the natural environment is as well. This is an aspect that I am taking inspiration from. I think this is called the Mississippi Power Plant or something like that. And then this water treatment facility does a pretty similar thing. Again, this is another building, another place that I'm taking inspiration from within Gulfport. I think this is called a Gulfport. I don't really know. I mean, doing minimal research here, guys. You know the drill. But this place, I mean, I just want to keep it pretty simple. We're not doing a huge amount of work down here. I think the detail comes with the openness of it all. I mean, there's quite a lot of open space, and having this, all these trees and forest on the outer edge of it, I think is always something that adds quite a lot of detail, even though we're not really doing a huge amount of detail work on it. And I'm also just putting in some small bushes because that's something that I think adds quite a lot of detail and something that is very low effort, just placing in some bushes within the facility, and then for some reason that works quite well. And that's something that I do tend to forget about. You just place some bigger trees and sort of call it a day. But sometimes when you add those smaller bushes, I think adds quite a lot. But now we're just going to be doing a little bit of work on the downtown. I'm calling this a downtown, but it's really just I guess it is the downtown, isn't it? It's a small commercial district, which I am just zoning at this stage, but I will come back and plop down some buildings. I think in the live play we'll do that. But I really just wanted to zone this out and see what's going to grow here and see if we're actually going to make any money, because I'm a little bit nervous to see if, maybe we just, I don't know, maybe I just completely tank this episode and we have to start again, because I have just placed down a bunch of expensive buildings and I've gone for the most expensive buildings. I haven't really chosen anything on the cheap side. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit of income, but I do plan to get into that within the live play. I am referring to this place as just a nameless city because I haven't read your name suggestions yet. I'm recording this after, pretty much straight away after recording that last episode. So keep them coming. No, don't keep them coming. Don't give me any name suggestions. I would have taken your suggestions from the episode before. And yeah, we'll name it up in the next episode. But you know what? That's it for the time. Let's jump into a live play, and fingers crossed, hopefully we'll be making some cash. As you can see, pretty much all the zoned areas have now fully grown, and some of them are starting to level up, but our land value isn't too crash hot at the moment. I mean, most of these houses are at about a level 1. These guys over here are about a level 2, only because the land value is just a smidge better over here. We've got some parks and a little bit of childcare, but that is about it. So it's not really a huge amount in terms of, let's just check it out. Yeah, compared to St. Marie, it's definitely not that desirable. So we'll definitely work on that. In fact, I think we could probably improve a bit of the land value just by making some parks, because we don't really have any parks. Yeah, it's not great. It's definitely not too great around here. So I think that'd be one of the first things we do. But before I get into it, there are some areas that I think we could probably continue zoning out and dedicate to a bit more like suburban sprawl. We've got some pockets of areas, and I've got some ideas for some other little areas. But around here, I think we could probably creep into this area just a bit more. And I think we'll probably do it around, how about if we go like that, and then we go like this, and I'm gonna get rid of that, and that might be as much as we do there. I don't want to do too much around here because I think this is probably where we're going to put the train station. So I think we'll just keep it we'll leave a bit of space because I think this would be prime location for a train station. But this gives us a bit more room to zone out just a couple more blocks of houses. And then even over here, you know, we could probably creep into this area just a bit more. I do want to dedicate this area to a bit of industry, and I think we could probably put even, I don't know, some sort of train maintenance facility, or I don't know, something like that. I think would work pretty well here. But I'm just gonna put in just another couple of blocks for houses. And then while I'm at it, I should probably change that to that's better. But we definitely need to improve the land value around here. So I think the first thing we could do is just add in some education, because we actually have 0 schools over here at the moment. So let's place a couple of them down. That's definitely helped to improve some of the land value. You can even see some of these buildings already leveling up. I mean, the commercial, for some reason, really like those, really like the boost in education. So that's definitely worked. I'm going to keep on boosting that land value by adding in some custom parks in some of these areas. I'm going to choose some areas in the downtown and also some areas that already have more obscure blocks. Like this guy, I think this will make a good park, and even this corner, and then probably this corner as well, just because they're a little harder to fit anything else in at the moment. And even down here too. And then we'll probably put one in the downtown. So let's add a couple of them in and see what happens. I think we're going to start seeing more residents start popping up, and hopefully leveling up too as that land value increases. Yeah, it's definitely increased, and there we go. We got more people starting to level up, which is fantastic. I mean, we don't need to go too overboard because we are going to make quite a big difference to land value as we develop up this coastline. There's going to be resorts and parks and all that sort of stuff along there, which we're going to do in the next episode. At the moment, we're just sort of getting the bare bones so we can get started. Even though we've just placed down a whole bunch of different services, we're still making a pretty good amount of money. I'm impressed. I think this town is working pretty well, and it's only going to expand out even further as we do still have a pretty good demand for residential. But what I want to focus on right now, and we can do things a bit differently, I would like to just improve the way this place looks. It's functioning well, but it doesn't look very nice. What I want to do is I want to add some trees. I want to change some of the streets. I want to just make this place look a lot nicer. And rather than doing a time lapse or placing things down in a live play, let's do a before and after. And hopefully this should look kind of nice. This is a really good starting point for our little city. Not quite a city yet, but I'm going to keep calling it a city because I reckon we're maybe one episode away from having this place really established. As you can see, we still have quite a high residential demand, which is great because that just means we need to expand out. And we are so close to the next milestone as well. We might even hit that in this episode. But let's have a little fly around because I want to show you a couple of things that you might not have been able to see in the very quick transition that I just did. So the downtown, I think, is pretty much established. We're going to add in a couple of extra little buildings here and there, but the majority of it is pretty much done. What I've done is I've added in just the smallest amounts of detail, like fences, just to mark certain shops. I've put in trees, just a bunch of different types of trees, so trying to go for a real variety. Trying to do a lot of palm trees just to show that there is a real difference between St. Marie and this place. So we do have some flats and apartments and that sort of stuff. So I think that's really adding quite a lot. A lot of parking, and I might even add in some more. We'll see how we go. We've got some high density starting to be zoned out, which is very nice. We've got areas of just development where all the houses look pretty much exactly the same. This place, all the houses are exactly the same. It's got a real difference between this and these sort of neighborhoods, which I do like. And speaking of these neighborhoods, as you can see, we do have some vacant lots, which I think is quite important. Just using some decals to show that. And trying to use some different types of decals. So we've got ruined and we've got some gravel too. And what else we've got to show? Oh yeah, I needed to boost up the land value out this way because I placed down these guys. I think these guys are level 2 or 3. Yep, okay, so they're a 2 and they're about to reach a level 3, which is great. And it's probably because I created a park around here, which is pretty quick, but I think it works quite nicely. Boosts the land value, but it also will be quite nice. And we're going to expand out a little bit further as well. Let's have a look at the land value, because we've definitely boosted it, and it's only going to get better as we place in some more unique buildings around this area and also just expand out, because the more you expand, the greater the land value goes, so that'll be quite nice. And then I've tried to leave this area pretty open because I will be developing this up when we get to the train line. We're going to do another whole train episode connecting everything up so that everything is connected up. Yeah, great choice of words there. But that's basically the idea. Really would like to spend a whole episode starting to get Mile Bay a little bit more connected, because at the moment we got the lines, but we just didn't really have the bank balance to justify placing any more train stations. But I think we're probably ready to start building some more connection up, which would be, I think, a lot nicer. But look, the place is definitely going to grow a lot more, and there is room for improvement. There's tons of room for improvement. You can imagine that all this is going to be zoned out, and even these areas are going to be built up as well. So this place is going to get pretty large, and I think that's something we really need to do, because we still don't have a huge amount of needs for any more industry, and I would really like to zone out some more industry. So I think we'll do another episode on just expanding out our city. We'll actually give it a name. You know what? Maybe we'll do resorts next time. I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you want to see next episode? I think residential for sure, but are we going to do resorts? Or are we going to do a big expansion? Or maybe we'll squeeze in both. We'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. It's so very much appreciated. Before I head off, I want to give a special shout out to some of the people supporting the channel via Patreon. Takik, Lewis Ford, Mateus Winkelhausen, Hayden Favourite, Will Schwartzberger, Jamali Morton, Daniel Meir, Anthony Solomon, Fabian Wegner, and Ricky Merriman. Can I say, you patrons have some of the best names ever. Can I just say that? Some great names right there. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Catch you later.